Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and today I bring you another PSP plugin. Yes, more PSP content, and I'm so excited to bring you this one because it's highly requested from the community. Thank you guys so much for giving your input and what type of content you'd like to see on the channel. And this one, I really wanted to get it done a few months back, but I was having a lot of issues with this plugin. And this one is called Pops Loader. And what this does, it allows you to play your PS1 games that are not working on your current firmware, for example 6.60 or 6.61, and you can access these older firmwares before you start the game. Use an older firmware and then run that game on that firmware, and that way you'll see it running at full speed with no issues. And I see a lot of people having problems with their PS1 games where it's just not working, or they come across a level where they have a lot of bugs, or they're just not able to complete the game due to the firmware that they're on. So hopefully this is a problem solver for you guys that are having all sorts of issues with your PS1 games. And the version 3 that was released back in 2013 or 12 or 14, this one is for 6.60, and I was having a lot of issues running it on 6.61 Infinity 2.0, which I'm on right now, and it just kept crashing my PSP, and I just was having a lot of issues. Even on 6.60 it was just failing all the time. And I get it, some of this homebrew stuff and plugins tend to fail here and there, and then sometimes it starts working again. I don't know, but this one was just very finicky, and I didn't want to make that video. And I know one guy has been waiting for this video for the longest, so I'm really glad to bring you this tutorial on how to install the Pops Loader. So the version we're going to take a look at today is version 4i, and this was released back in 2016. But unfortunately, the download link does not work, and the file has been deleted. And this one is for the updated 6.61 firmware. And I just had a hard time tracking this file down, and I stumbled across it today actually under the version 3 post. Someone commented with their Dropbox file, and that's what we're going to be using today. And thanks to Rafael Matias for providing that link, and he commented on this post 2 months ago when I was just looking at this, which is crazy. So I'm just so glad that he provided that information for us, so big props to that guy. And now let's take a look at how this works. So if we go to our PS1 games, let's say Croc is not working. It doesn't run on 6.61 for whatever reason. And when you have the plugin installed, before you start the game, you want to hold the R button. Whoops. Let me move that. We want to hold down the R button. Whoops. Right there, and then press X to run the game, and this will access that plugin with all those different firmwares. It's very convenient how this works. There we go. And Pops Loader Pro version 4i, and you can just select any firmware, and either the game will crash, meaning that it will not work for that firmware and you'll have to start this process again, or it will start playing the game and you just have to go through it and see if it's stable for you to complete the game. And that's basically it. So let's take a look at how we can get this installed, and I'm just gonna run off the original flash here. So let's get started by connecting our PSP to our PC, either through the USB cable, or if you have an SD card reader, just simply take out your memory card, pop it in there, and read the files on your PC. And I'm going to go through the USB connection here. There's always a problem with this drive. Let's just open that up, and here we go. All set. So here in Wololo.net, you'll see the Pops Loader version 4i for firmware 6.61 to launch PS1 games. And here is the file, but when you click on it, it says the file has been deleted or no longer available. And this is across all different websites that provide the version 4i Pops Loader. And here is my initial version 3 video that I was going to make, but I was just having problems like I said before. And I just kept, I like to read things over and over again to make sure that I did everything correctly, and before I even make the video or attempt to make a tutorial and test it out for myself, and just a lot of issues. And I just came down to the comment section, and lo and behold, Rafael Matthias has the link, and here is the link working. So I'll have that in the description down below for you. Hit that link and they'll take you to dropbox.com, and click on this download link at the top right there and use the direct download. You don't have to have an account to download this, so don't worry about if there is a little window that says, hey, you have to sign in or make an account. Just hit the X button and download it, and you should be fine. So let's show in our folder, and you can see I already did all that work there, but I will redo that for this video. And let's right click and 7-zip that baby and extract files. If you don't have an extracting program, use either 7-zip or WinRAR to extract the .rar file into this new folder that we got here. And within that folder we have the Pops Loader folder with all these different files and folders. Very good. And I believe this should add up to, yep, 83.2 megabytes. Perfect. And our pops.txt file, let's move that to the side and bring up our USB drive, our PSP USB drive. Perfect. Let's open up the SE plugins folder, and here we're going to drag this Pops Loader into that SE plugins. Let me do that again one more time. So here's the root of your PSP. Go to your SE plugins, and if you don't have an SE plugins, just create it. And then within that folder, we'll drop the Pops Loader folder into the SE plugins folder. Let's skip these files and open up your pops.txt file. If you don't have this, just create one by, let me do that, by right clicking, new, text document, and rename that in capital text pops.txt, and you'll be good to go. I'll delete this, and if you already have it, open that up, and here we're going to open this pops.txt file, and you want to be using like a notepad or some kind of Word program that allows you to edit Word documents or notes, stuff like that. Let's copy this line over, and my font is a little big here. Let's lower that to 24 so you guys can see the line completely. There it is. And from the Pops Loader folder, we'll copy this line here into this notepad from our PSP, and make sure to save that file. A lot of times people are like, hey, this is not working. Make sure to save that txt, that text file, or else this will not work. And we are all set here. So let's go back and test it out. Disconnect from the USB connection and press your select button to access the VSH menu. Let me bring this over here to this window and enter your recovery menu. Go under your plugins and just make sure that is enabled, your Pops Loader.prx under Pops, enabled, good to go. And just reset your VSH. I already did mine, so I'm all good to go here. The cool thing about this plugin is that there is a huge Pops Loader compatibility list that we can actually look at to see some of these games that would work on different firmwares. That way you're not testing every single one, and you can go ahead and try those firmwares or just test some other ones out yourself. And we'll take a look at that here real quick before we move on. Let's go to our desktop and I'll have this link in the description down below for you as well, the nitroblog.org. And scroll down under how to know which pops to use. Here is the pops loader compatibility list, and it's a huge list. It has almost every PS1 game, and you can see here Air Combat, and let's see, PSX ID, TV type, yes or no, manual, yes or no, and notes. So Air Combat looks like 5.00 M33-6 game works perfectly by the sheriff. Works fine. Air Hockey works on 5.00. And just a lot of different notes everywhere. Here's Crash Bandicoot 2, one of the most popular games on the PS1. You can see all these different notes for that game. And 3.71 works. Let's see, Pops 4.01 does not even start. So really good, handy little note section for those who are looking to save a little bit of time and not test every single firmware. Now back on our PSP, how does this plugin actually work? So one big question that a lot of you might have is, hey, will that firmware stay true to all the games that I play, or is it for that specific game? So for Croc, if I open up Croc again, holding the R button, the R trigger, and starting the game with X, it will start the plugin right where I left off. So the plugin will know exactly what firmware you used when you last used it. So the last time I accessed the game was through the original Flash. So this is your 6.61 Pro Infinity 2.0 version, which I'm running right now. And let's say we run off 5.00 pops. When I run the game again and I want to change it to another firmware, it will highlight that firmware when you use the plugin again, right? And this is not true for every single game. So you will have to use this plugin for every single game to use different firmwares. So if I'm using 5.00 on Croc, that doesn't mean that it's going to be selected for Crash Bandicoot, because we're only using that firmware for Croc. So just keep that in mind. So that's really nice, and that way you don't have to worry about messing up your console or whatever. And if you do have some issues, I just delete the plugin, reinstall it, and just restart from scratch. From my experience when using some of these older firmwares, when I'm trying to back out of the game, it does freeze the PSP and I have to hard reset it every single time. So just make sure to save your game. Hopefully it will back out for you, but for me, all the times I tested with older firmware, it just crashes the PSP and I have to hold the power button to reset it completely. When you're at this selection page, you can't really go back home and you can't really do anything except for press X to run the firmware. So I'm just gonna run from the original from Flash. All the games that I play on my PSP, all the PS1 games, work flawlessly on 6.61. And if you didn't know this, by pressing the home button, you can change the aspect ratio of the game. So go to other settings, go to screen mode, and here access by pressing X, and you can actually fit it to full screen of the PSP. That is nice. A lot of people don't know about that, and I'm not sure why they don't know about that. So that is it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful for some of you, and if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out a lot, especially with the whole YouTube algorithm, and that way I get the best ranks in search results, and other enthusiasts, other users, other people who are trying to look for this video can find it easier. And if you have any questions, comment down below and we'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. And if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a video like this in the future. Take care, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.